Next, I'd like to call upon Dr. Kuldeep Singh ji. Kuldeep ji, actually, I met just about a couple of months ago for the first time in the Gurdwara. We were right here in this room, and we were running the Pantic Digital Voice training session for students, and there was a young gentleman sitting in the library, Chota the Kamra Piche, and I was wondering, kaun baithe hoye the? For hours he was sitting there, doing his sadhana, doing his studies, and I actually got so curious. I went into the room and I said, "Who are you? What are you doing here? It's been hours." And he was so humble and so modest. He told me a little bit about himself. That he's been here without his family for about 5 years. His family's back in Patiala, and now he's really acting as a multilingual preacher at the Gurdwara side. And we read his biography, and he's going to be talking about what is a Gursikh life. Does it mean a stoic disposition? Does it mean delight? Does it mean cheerfulness? What is this? This need to be a certain way to show that you're a Gursikh and you're on this journey. Can you be who you are without having to be somebody you prescribe to be or somebody that you are supposed to be perceived to be, right? So I would love to hear. I'm really looking forward to your talk today. Let me talk a little bit about biography. Dr. Singh is a multilingual Sikh scholar, writer, Gurbani interpreter, and advocate of global Sikh awareness. With his extensive knowledge of Gurbani and Sikh values, culture, and history, he has been invited to speak and teach at numerous universities, including UC Davis, Claremont McKenna, Loyola Marymount, and several CSUs. He currently serves as a curricular designer on a forthcoming Punjabi language program for the UC system. His present research focuses on the Sikh diaspora and cross-cultural adjustment. Above all, his passion is to inspire everyone he meets with the love and light of Sikhi. Dr. Kuldeep Singh has an MA in Comparative Religious Studies and a PhD in Literature from Punjab University in Patiala. He is currently residing and working with the Sikh Gurdwara Sahib Singh. Welcome, Dr. Sahib.
ਗੁਰਪਿਆਰੀ ਸਾਧ ਸੰਗਤ ਜੀ, ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਮੇਰੀ ਹੰਬਲੀ ਫਤਿਹ ਪ੍ਰਵਾਨ ਕਰੋ ਸਾਰੇ। ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ, ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ। ਜਿਵੇਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਹੈ, as I know, you must have tired so much because you have been listening since morning continuously. It's very hard to listen so many speakers. Anyhow, I think I won't get you bored, as my topic is delightful bit of Guru Nanak's lesson. I will read two papers first, 2 pages, then I will tell some stories what represent the witty personality of Guru Nanak Sahib. When we think of spirituality and religion, our mind often conjure up series and austere personas. Many of us tend to think of disciplined and stoic personality types. In fact, most of our visual depictions of Guru Nanak, the first Guru of our Sikh religion, is in keeping with the notion that sainthood is synonymous with solemnity. Guru Nanak is presented in portraits as a very old man with a white beard who seems quiet and reserved. And the most prevalent portrayals reflect Guru Nanak as a meditative elder showering a blessing of a silent grace with gesture of his hand. While these depictions are in alignment with the common conception of what a spiritual teacher should look and act like, they may overlook numerous facets of Guru Nanak's personality and spiritual lessons. My hope is to reframe our previous subconscious association of strictness with religion to one that encompasses freedom and joy by imparting the lesser known magnanimous power of Guru Nanak's more jovial and light-hearted ways of teaching. My purpose in conveying Guru Nanak's most natural and wonderful, delightful nature is that we too will be inspired to live blissfully, that we may begin to let go our fixed mentality of spirituality and exchange it with the lively, free-flowing concept as modeled by our Guru Nanak Sahib. To be cheerful, smiling, laughing is an art. Laughing eliminates our tensions and stress. It makes our mind and body blossom with radiance. Humor is another kind of reflection of the delighted soul. It's also good human nature. Humor can be reformed, elevated if it is well intentioned and gracious. When humor is gentle and subdued, it decreases anger, bitterness of failure, and blundering. If it is exalted, it can be revelatory of higher truths. Sense of humor is used to beautify and impact a message. If humor is used with the right intention, it has the potential to easily pierce the soul, and thus the message behind the humor is well delivered. In contrast, when any instruction is given harshly and directly, it often does not create the desired result upon delivery. Guru Nanak therefore utilized a melodious and witty manner to convey his lessons with the love and care needed to promote a lasting and transformative impact. His playful and incredibly ingenious teaching methods were such that he purposefully put himself in varying situations in order to reveal the folly of one's character or actions. His ultimate goal was to uplift all of humanity to that higher state of being, and he did so in the most creative and innovative way. In Japji, Guru Nanak expresses that devotees of divine should always remain smiling, cheerful, and in the state of blissfulness. Nanak Bhagatan Sada Vigas, Sunaya Dukh Paap Ka Nas. And Guruji further says, God is also blissful, true, and beautiful. Sat, Suhan, Sada Man Chao. So ecstasy and joy are really our most authentic states. Guru Nanak wanted to help all return to their most natural way of being, and he used real life scenario to bring people into a state of mind where they were able to recognize and correct their erroneous way of being. Guru's wit was aiming to instigate deep soul searching for the purpose of converting mindlessness and malevolent wrongdoing into freedom from wiles of Maya. Guru Nanak's wit was evident right from the onset of his youth. His birth was even a sentiment to the kind of a teacher Guru Nanak would be. Upon his delivery, he arrived smiling. His nurse, Daulatadai, had seen a multitude of births, was appalled, amazed, and forever changed upon her vision of this baby, whose smile lit up her soul. She knew he would brighten the world with the cheer and joy. When Guru Nanak's father presented this otherwise destitute nurse with money for her midwifery service, she replied, I now have all the wealth of the world upon seeing your son. No money can replace that kind of prosperity. Guru Nanak arrived into this world with a smile reflecting his ultimate bliss. His very existence was a selfless dedication to enlighten the world. It is written in Guru Pratap Suraj Granth, बहुत से जन्मे ममकर माही, जेह चर्च कब देखियो नाही, दीर्घ नरक जो विलास मिला है, त्यों कीते शब्द पढ़े हैं. He came into this world smiling, and he distributed blissfulness to the world. When Guru Nanak was 7 years old, he was sent to school to study language. Guru asked his teacher, please tell me the meaning of the letters that you are teaching me. And the teacher replied, Nanak, one letter has no meaning. Guru then said, if these letters are meaningless, then why are you teaching them to me? On that moment's day, Guru uttered one composition. The name of composition is Patti Likhi. It means Guru have written the patti. Guru wrote all the letters and Guru explained it very well. That gave the meaning of each letter in his Bani, and it started with Sassa letter. Sassa Soi, Srishti Gyan Saji, Sabna Sahib Ek Paya. It also include all the letters of Gurmukhi, like Uda, Upama Taki Ki Jai, Jaka Ant Na Paya. They gave, the teacher was struck in wonder. Guruji's seemingly simple question about letters inspired a profound reflection within his teacher into the depth of spirituality. At the innocuous age of 7, Guru Nanak was able to instigate a tremendous deliberation into the difference between fruitless learning and life-giving wisdom. The irony is that even when a teacher was aiming to instruct Guruji, it was the instructor himself who ended up being the one learning the true lesson. Diving deep into the historical accounts and Sakhis of Guru Nanak open pathways for us to continue to learn from his astute and witty techniques. What is so beautiful and evident from these stories is that Guruji did not discriminate against anyone. He had love for all in every facet of life. Whenever an opportunity presented itself for him to help his fellow humans, fellow beings, he did so without any reservation or iota of prejudice. People of every profession, gender, religion, and creed benefited and were uplifted from their interactions with this most crafty saint. I want to tell here the story of Janeu ceremony. In the Hindu religion, it is mandatory tradition to put a Janeu ceremonial thread around one's neck. Thus, during that era, Guru Nanak's family arranged a big gathering to celebrate this thread ceremony. All of his relatives, neighbors, and Hardayal Pandit gathered for this purpose. The young Nanak sat on a small cot and watched as Pandit Hardayal read Vedic mantras and prepared the Janeu. Nanak observed all of these undertakings without interruptions. At the peak of the ceremony, when the time came for the Pandit to put the ceremonial thread around Guru Nanak's neck, Guru immediately refused him by grabbing hold of the Pandit's hand. This act was seen as extremely disrespectful, and the Hardayal was astonished by it. He questioned as to why Nanak didn't want to put the ceremonial thread on his neck. The Pandit insisted it was mandatory to be religious and to be a true Hindu. Guruji smiled lovingly and said, "Do you think religion is mandatory for everyone?" Pandit replied, "Of course, yes." Guru then uttered, "Then please put this Janeu on my sister. She is 5 years older than me." Astonished, the Pandit retorted that women are not allowed to wear the ceremonial thread. Then Guru said, "Okay, I have a best friend Mardana, please put it on his neck." The Pandit again responded by saying that being a low caste person, Guru Nanak's friend had no right to wear it. Finally, Guru said, "Okay, then please put your Janeu onto my neck, what you are wearing." Perplexed and now quite agitated, the Pandit countered, "No, you cannot have mine because it is special and it's only for Brahmin. It's made of resham." Guruji thenceforth asked, "Okay, if you will put this Janeu on me, will it remain with me always? Will it never burn or wear off?" Flabbergasted and quite teased, the Pandit responded, "No, you need to put it on again when it wears off." Guru finally proclaimed, "O honored Pandit, I would like that one thread that will neither break nor get soiled, nor be burnt, nor lost. Na hi tutte, na mil lage, na hi jale na jaye, tan so mans Nanaka, jo gal chala paaye." The Pandit thought it was such a strange demand of Guru Nanak. When the Brahmin was unable to provide such Janeu, then Guru Nanak shared the kind of Janeu that one should wear. Guru Nanak uttered this Shabad, it is in Asakivar, Daya Kapa, Santokh Sood, Jat Gandhi Satvat, Eh Janev Ji Ka, Hai Tapande Katta. Make compassion the cotton, spin the knot of contentment and modesty, twist it with truth, such is the sacred thread of Pandit, and dow me with that thread if you have it. This Sakhi shows how dramatically and to the extent with which Guru taught the divine universal message to all, despite social rank. It is also very revealing of Guruji's commitment of love to all living beings. He certainly was saying that everyone is deserving of the everlasting, eternal divine thread. The message further imparted by Guru Sahib is the Janev that everyone needs is the one of divine virtue, the one that everyone has a right to wear, the Janev of compassion, modesty and contentment, the Janev that is only for the Hindus, divides society even amongst its own as it contributes to delineation among castes. Guruji said that he did not want a Janev of separation, but rather one of connection. The Janev is a thread. What is the function of thread? A thread is not for division. A thread connects beads together. So Guruji says the Janev as a connector, not a divider. Guruji's subtle wit continued in each and every circumstance of his life. Discreetly, he was also imparting his wisdom when Guruji lay silently without eating or drinking for several days. His family grew extremely concerned and called a physician, Hardas, to check up on their son. The doctor reached to check the pulse of Guru Nanak when Guru laughed affectionately at the physician and uttered, "O physician, why are you checking my pulse? O physician, pain is not in my body, it is in my soul, the pain of yearning of God." Guru Nanak was helping the physician to recognize that we too are not well when we are feeling either consciously or subconsciously the separation of Vaheguru. The wit of this lesson opened the eyes of the physician to the notion that pain is not always related to the body and cannot always be diagnosed with the feeling a pulse or by checking just the body. Ego, pride, jealousy are also pain which cannot be traced by a doctor. Guru uttered the Shabad Vaid Bulaya Vaidgi, Pakat no Tado Le Ba, Pola Vaid Na Janai, Karak Kare Ma. I have more stories, but I want to skip that because I'm saying time is. Guru's delightful wit never discriminated among any class, even the ruling and dominating class, Muslim priests or local rulers. His amusing teaching weaved their way into all hearts, no matter their wealth or status. Once Guru was asked by a Muslim priest if he felt the difference between a Hindu and a Muslim, to which Guru replied, "I love all the names of God. Hum balihari jao, jete tere naam hai." So the Qazi invited Guru to pray with him, and to his delight, Guruji obliged. When Guru entered the mosque, the Qazi and the ruler were praying, bowing their heads again and again, but Guru remained standing and smiling. When the elite ruler finished their namaz, both got angry and said sternly, "O Nanak, you are a kafir, impure one. You broke your promise to perform namaz with us." To this Guruji replied, "With whom should I perform the prayer? You both were not praying. Tell me the truth. Were your mind present in the prayer?" Both men became silent because the Qazi was actually thinking about his newborn pony while doing his namaz, and the ruler was mentally buying horses in Kabul during his prayer. So Guru's sarcastic remark rendered the men speechless and gave them each a great lesson to have full faith, devotion, and concentration to make the mind fully present when praying. Guru Nanak always participated in the world around him, so when the opportunity presented itself, he could carefully impart great lessons in a dramatic way to deeply impact people's mind. He helped people realize mindless and ritualistic action in order for them to improve their spiritual journeys. Another instance of Guru's hilarious and effective experiential teaching strategies is when he went to Haridwar. People there were throwing water towards the sun as an offering to their ancestors. Guru joined the group of ritualistic enthusiasts and started throwing water in the opposite direction towards the west. All the people became curious as to who was the strange man throwing handfuls of water towards the west side. People finally succumbed to their curiosity and on behalf of the group approached the strange man throwing water in the opposite direction. Guru explained to his inquisitive audience that he was a farmer with a farm in the west suffering from drought season. He explained that he was throwing the water to nourish his crops. The people then asked Guru how far his farm was, and he replied that they were about 250 miles. Are you foolish, mental, or Nanak? Why? Guruji said, because how can water travel that far? If your water can reach the sun, which is 90 million miles far, then why can't mine? People became stunned and speechless. In this moment, many of them realized their foolishness. Guruji made the people who loved so much ponder and reflect on their fruitless actions. He never scolded, chastised, nor belittled. During his first journey towards Hindu shrines, Guru went to Jagannath Puri. It's a very interesting story. There were some so-called saints exploiting innocent people. Guru saw this injustice and decided to reveal the wrongdoing to help of people of their ignorance. One false saint in particular named Kuldeep was sitting in an asana and crowded by his disciples. He claimed to know all the cosmos, Vishnu, Brahma and Shiva. He was claiming, I know Shiva Puri, Brahma Puri, मैं अभी ब्रह्मपुरी में हूँ, मैं शिवपुरी में हूँ, मैं अंतर्जामी हूँ, मैं सबके दिल की जानता हूँ. जो मुझे डोनेशन देगा, जो मुझे पैसा देगा, जो मुझे मत्था टेकेगा, उसका मैं स्वर्ग का टिकट काट दूंगा. So he was exploiting the people, and his donation box sat right in front, and as he was professing his powers, he would ever so often peek at his money box to ensure people were putting their hard-earning money into it. Guru Nanak asked Bhai Mardana to take Kaljug's donation box and hide it behind him. When Kaljug opened his eyes and saw his donation box missing, he unleashed into a frantic frenzy. He got so mad that he started cursing at his disciple, inquiring as to who stole his donation box. संतों से मश्करी करना अच्छी बात नहीं होती. मैं सभी को भस्म कर दूंगा, खत्म कर दूंगा. जिसने मेरा लोटा उठाया है, मैं उसको गर्क कर दूंगा, वो नरक में जाएगा. He threatened them, saying he will destroy whomever did such a terrible act. The innocent people became extremely frightened and cried, "We did not steal your box, Babaji. Please don't curse us. हमें श्राप मत दीजिए, असी नहीं तोड़ा लोटा चुकिया." At the same time, Guru Nanak appeared and said, "O dear saint, you are just professing that you are in an inner Lord who knows all the cosmos. It should be easy for you to find such a small box with that kind of knowing. Why can't you find your box with your miracle power?" The crowd of followers began chiming in asking him the same questions. Speechless and bright red with shame, Kaljug Panda had no choice but to reveal his faults. Witnessing this trickery themselves enabled people to wake from their foolishness and see the saints' agenda to loot innocent people. Guru created a scenario to help people realize that they shouldn't blindly follow those who claim to be saintly but really exploit. Akita mita, nag pakada, thaggan ko sansar, magar bacha kach na suja, ehe padma alone. During his third journey towards a Muslim place of worship, Guru made his way to Mecca wearing Muslim garb. He became quite tired with the strenuous travel and placed his feet towards Mecca. The Muslim Qazi, upon seeing Guruji, became unfurled and started screaming obscenity at Guruji while inquiring why Guru would do the indomitable act of pointing his feet toward Mecca. Guruji explained to the frazzled Muslim Qazi that he was so tired, did not know where God did not reside. So he requested for the Qazi to kindly put his feet where God was not. The Qazi became very amused by Guruji's lesson, realizing in that moment that God is everywhere. For wherever he turned Guruji's feet, he saw God in all directions. Guru helped the Qazi realize that God is omnipresent, God is everywhere. Guru's witty action opened the eyes of this blessed Muslim Qazi to realize in a minute what he couldn't comprehend throughout his entire life. Guru's presence from birth through adulthood brought forth bloomed, closed hearts. He knew the right-telling message to help prepare people for errors of their ways. He never tried to turn people to his own ideology or for his own benefit, but simply wanted to help people awaken to the love that already existed within themselves, even to the most tormented and closed personhoods. Assistance to Guruji ensured throughout his travels. One infamous resistance in Achal Batala, Multan, inspired a lesson that even today carries masterful significance. Guru Nanak entered Achal Batala, where numerous Siddhas and Piras sang together. Many of them registered Guru Nanak's presence at this gathering and to show their disapproval metaphorically sent one full cup of milk as a representation that there was no room for Guru Nanak. However, this act was seen by Guru Nanak as an opportunity to melt old hearts. He responded to this act by putting one jasmine flower on top of the cup of milk to signify that he would never be burdened nor take space. It also indicated that Guru is like a flower, fragrant and soft blooming. He wanted people to learn to live in Maya like the flower floats on milk, without being disturbed with detachment and a beautiful sublime fragrance. Guruji wanted to impart that when we join others, we should aim to be fashioned and fragrant with the saintly and humble presence. Endless story exists to exhibit Guruji's witty way of preaching. One final story is when Guruji questioned Pai Lena, along with his own sons, to determine the next Guruship. Guruji asked them if they know what is in his hand. Shri Chand, his elder son, said, "No doubt, Baba Nanak, you have coin in your hand." His other son, Lakshmi Das, answered the same as Shri Chand. Then the same question was asked to Pai Lena and he said, "Oh my dearest Babaji, Sadguru Nanak Padshah, how can I fail? What is in your hand? It contains all godly wisdom. All the worldly and spiritual treasure are in your palm. It contains the entire universe and God as well." This was Guruji's way of selection for who can see beyond the physicality of the earth. Pai Lena was able to realize Guru Nanak's power. Thus Guru put his divine light in Lehna and named his Angad, made from his own body parts. So Guru Nanak's wit was always imbued with sublimity, humility, love and care. It always showed mercy and beneficence into social judgments. Arguments and distance yielded spontaneously to the genial influence of his keenness. Guru Nanak's delightful wit had unseen power which broke the strength of whatever Guru sought to change. It was never a joke or just for a frivolous whim. There was always a message and a merciful heart behind every one of his humorous lessons. Guru Nanak's humor never sought to demoralize or belittle. His objective was always to spread the contagion of divine joy and bliss. The witty way is powerful to convey the right message in the right time for the right purpose. Guru had the great aim of human destiny and upliftment. He was so sympathetic with each and every one of his lessons. His way of teaching was transformative and experiential, caring and loving. He put himself in the place of the student and never showed himself as a teacher. He always felt the pain of humanity and chose the best way to convey his message, to transform lives from hell to heaven, from sinful to godly. Balihari Guru apane, Devhadi Sadhwar, Jin Mans te Devti kiye, Kart na lagi var. He loved all religions, all way of life, and that instilled purity, truthfulness, and righteousness into every life he encountered. He loved to smile and knew that the smile that radiated from within is magnetic. He wanted to share and inspire the magnetism with all. Thank you very much. Har jan gun gawat hasya. आओ सदा विकास विच रहिए, खुशियां विच रहिए, चढ़दी कला विच रहिए, भुला चुका दी माफी। वाहिगुरू जी का खालसा, वाहिगुरू जी की फतेह।
बोले सो निहाल, सत श्री अकाल।
Thank you, Vijay. Thank you very much. I have to use one mic in this level and one mic. I have a couple of questions. Listening to stories are very good for our ears. When we have to apply, we just apply our own syana. Where God goes, when we see others go, who is under this question? Maybe I'm not reading it correctly. Where God goes when we see others go, where He goes when we dance drinking liquor, where it goes when we fight in the Gurdwara, listening to stories, God is everywhere, why not in our personal life?
Very interesting question. I can give you answer with the reference of Jap Sahib, where Guru Gobind Singh says, Namo Kala Karta, Namo Shanti. So God lives even in the Kala Klesh, in the clash. Where is the clash? The God is there.
एक और सवाल है, if watering the sun cannot go too far in foolishness, then why is hiring people for doing a third part sahib?
That's a good one.
मेरा क्वेश्चन ये है कि ਜਦੋਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਕਹਿ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਵਾਟਰਿੰਗ ਇਜ਼ ਨਾਟ ਗੁੱਡ ਲਾਈਕ ਆਪਾਂ ਹਿੰਦੂਇਜ਼ਮ ਆ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਅੱਜ ਕੱਲ੍ਹ ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰਿਆਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਇਹੀ ਹੋ ਰਿਹਾ ਆ ਆਪਾਂ ਇੱਕ ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰੇ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਸਾਰੇ ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰੇ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ ਕਿ ਆਪਾਂ ਅਖੰਡ ਪਾਠ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ ਜਿਵੇਂ ਮੈਂ ਹਾਇਰ ਕਰ ਲਿਆ ਮੈਂ ਘਰੇ ਬੈਠਾ ਬਸ ਫੋਨ ਤੇ ਲੱਗਾ ਆ ਅਖੰਡ ਪਾਠ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਮੇਰੇ ਨਾਂ ਤੇ ਹੋ ਰਿਹਾ ਮਤਲਬ ਇਹ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਫੁਲਿਸ਼ਨੈਸ ਆ ਆਪਾਂ ਹਿੰਦੂਇਜ਼ਮ ਨੂੰ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਆ ਸਪੋਰਟ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਆ ਰਾਈਟ ਕਿ ਅਗਰ ਪਾਣੀ ਪਾਣਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਜਾ ਰਿਹਾ ਰੱਬ ਕੋਲ ਤੇ ਕੋਈ ਹੋਰ ਪਾਠ ਕਰ ਰਿਹਾ ਤਾਂ ਸਾਡਾ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਲੱਗ ਜੂਗਾ ਰਾਈਟ ਲਾਈਕ ਆਪਾਂ ਅਖੰਡ ਪਾਠ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਕਰਾਉਂਦੇ ਆ ਤੇ ਬਾਹਰ ਅਸੀਂ ਵੀਆਈਪੀਜ਼ ਨੂੰ ਦੇ ਰਹੇ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਆ ਵੈਲਕਮ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਅੰਦਰ ਵੀਆਈਪੀ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਬੈਠਾ ਸੀ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਪੁੱਛਦੇ ਨਹੀਂਗੇ ਰਾਈਟ ਜਦੋਂ ਵਿਆਹ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਸਾਡੇ ਘਰੇ ਅਖੰਡ ਪਾਠ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਫਿਨਿਸ਼ ਰਾਤ ਨੂੰ ਸ਼ਰਾਬਾਂ ਸੀਰੀਅਸਲੀ ਮੇਰੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਘਰੇ ਹੋਇਆ ਸੀਗਾ ਮੈਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਘਰੇ ਵੜਿਆ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀਗਾ ਮਹੀਨਾ ਪੂਰਾ ਮੇਰੇ ਚਾਚਾ ਤਾਏ ਨੇ ਕੀਤਾ ਸੀਗਾ
ਵੈਰੀ ਗੁੱਡ, ਇਟਸ ਅ ਗ੍ਰੇਟ ਅਨਫੋਰਚੂਨੇਟ ਫॉर ਅਸ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਇਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੀਆਂ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਨਾਨਕ ਅੱਗਾ ਸੋ ਮਿਲਿਆ ਜੇ ਖੱਟੇ ਘਾਲੇ ਤੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਉਹੀ ਪ੍ਰਾਪਤ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ ਜੋ ਅਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਹੱਥੀਂ ਕਰਨਾ, ਆਪਣਾ ਹੱਥੀਂ ਆਪਣਾ ਆਪੇ ਹੀ ਕਾਜ ਸਵਾਰੀਏ। ਇਹ ਰਿਚੁਅਲਸ ਅਸੀਂ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਮਿਲ ਕੇ ਕੀਤੇ ਨੇ, ਸਾਨੂੰ ਚੰਗੇ ਵੀ ਲੱਗਦੇ ਨੇ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਆਪ ਬਾਣੀ ਪੜ੍ਹਨਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ, ਸਾਨੂੰ ਔਖਾ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਹੈ। ਅਸੀਂ ਸੋਚਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਵੀ ਚਲੋ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਬਾਕੀ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਖਰੀਦ ਲੈਂਦੇ ਹਾਂ, ਕਾਰ ਵੀ ਖਰੀਦ ਲੈਂਦੇ, ਘਰ ਵੀ ਖਰੀਦ ਲੈਂਦੇ, ਕੱਪੜੇ ਵੀ ਖਰੀਦ ਲੈਂਦੇ, ਉੱਥੇ ਬਾਬਾ ਵੀ ਖਰੀਦ ਸਕਦੇ ਆਪਾਂ, ਤੇ ਉਹ ਵੀ ਬੜਾ ਸਸਤਾ ਮਿਲ ਜਾਂਦਾ, ਪਰ ਇਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ। ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਆਪਣਾ ਹੱਥੀਂ ਆਪਣਾ ਆਪੇ ਵੇਚ ਆਪੇ ਹੀ ਖਾ।
एक लास्ट सवाल है, दिस इज काइंड ऑफ overarching सवाल, is Sikh रहत मर्यादा is bigger or is a Sikh? It's a very fundamental question you're asking.
ਸਿੱਖ ਮਰਿਆਦਾ ਬਿਗੜ ਹੈ ਜਾਂ ਸਿੱਖ, ਦੋਨੇ ਹੀ ਬਿਗੜ ਨੇ। ਸਿੱਖ ਮਰਿਆਦਾ ਨੂੰ ਫਾਲੋ ਕਰਕੇ ਸਿੱਖ ਬਣਨਾ ਹੈ, ਤੇ ਜੇ ਸਿੱਖ ਬਣ ਜਾਏ ਤਾਂ ਸਿੱਖ ਮਹਾਨ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹੈ। ਸੱਚੋ ਹੋ ਰਿਹਾ ਸਭ ਕੋ ਉੱਪਰ ਸੱਚ ਅਚਾਰ। ਗੁਰੂ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਕਿ ਸੱਚ ਵੱਡਾ ਹੈ, ਰੱਬ ਵੱਡਾ ਹੈ, ਪਰ ਰੱਬ ਤੋਂ ਵੀ ਕੋਈ ਵੱਡੀ ਚੀਜ਼ ਹੈ, ਉਹ ਸੱਚ ਅਚਾਰ ਹੈ, ਉਹ ਸਿੱਖ ਦਾ ਜੀਵਨ ਹੈ, ਉਹ ਸਿੱਖ ਦੀ ਲਾਈਫ ਹੈ। ਰਹਿਤ ਮਰਿਆਦਾ ਵੱਡੀ ਹੈ, ਪਰ ਰਹਿਤ ਆਪਣੇ ਆਪ 'ਚ ਵੱਡੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ ਜਦ ਤੱਕ ਸਿੱਖ ਉਸ ਨੂੰ ਨਹੀਂ ਜਿਉਂਦਾ।
ਅੱਜ ਕੱਲ੍ਹ ਕੋਈ ਆਪਾਂ ਦੇਖ ਰਹੇ ਕੋਈ ਸਿੱਖ ਮਤਲਬ ਟੂ ਬੀ ਵੈਰੀ ਫਰੈਂਕ, ਆਪਾਂ ਦੇਖੀਦਾ ਕਿ ਮੇਰੇ ਹੁਣ ਫਰੈਂਡਸ ਆ, ਉਹ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਕਿ ਸਿੱਖੀ ਅੰਦਰ ਹੋਣੀ ਚਾਹੀਦੀ ਹੈ, ਸਰੂਪ 'ਚ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੋਣੀ ਚਾਹੀਦੀ। ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਵਾਲ ਕਟਾਏ ਹੋਏ ਨੇ, ਤੇ ਜਦ ਤੱਕ ਸਿੱਖੀ ਸਾਡੇ ਕੀ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਸਰੂਪ 'ਚ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗੀ ਤਾਂ ਅੰਦਰ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਹੋ ਸਕਦੀ ਆ? ਅੰਦਰੋਂ ਹੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਰਿਪਰੈਜ਼ੈਂਟ ਉਹੀ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ, ਬਾਹਰ ਜੋ ਸਾਡੇ ਅੰਦਰ ਹੋਗਾ। ਅਗਰ ਮੇਰੇ ਅੰਦਰ ਈਰਖਾ ਆ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਪ੍ਰਤੀ, ਕਿਸੇ ਹੋਰ ਦੇ ਪ੍ਰਤੀ, ਰਾਈਟ, ਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਉਹੋ ਜਿਹਾ ਰਿਪਰੈਜ਼ੈਂਟ ਕਰੂੰਗਾ।
ਜਦੋਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਆਪ ਵੀਕ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਹਾਂ, ਕਮਜ਼ੋਰ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਹਾਂ, ਤਾਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਐਕਸਕਿਊਜ਼ ਕ੍ਰੀਏਟ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ। ਇਹ ਸਾਡੇ ਐਕਸਕਿਊਜ਼ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਕਿ ਜੀ ਬਾਹਰੋਂ ਸਿੱਖੀ ਦੀ ਲੋੜ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ। ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਪੁੱਛੇ ਕਿ ਅੰਦਰੋਂ ਕਿੰਨੇ ਕੁ ਪੱਕੇ ਸਿੱਖ ਹੋ ਤੁਸੀਂ? ਬਾਣੀ ਨੂੰ ਪੜ੍ਹੋ ਨਾ, ਬਾਣੀ ਸਾਰੀ ਇਨਰ ਬਿਊਟੀ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਦੀ ਹੈ। ਬਾਣੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਤਾਂ ਆਊਟਰ ਗੱਲ ਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਰਹਿਤ ਮਰਿਆਦਾ ਚ ਆ ਕੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਕੇਸ ਲਿਖਣੇ ਆ। ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਪੁੱਛੋ ਕਿ ਸੋ ਸਿੱਖ ਸਖਾ ਬੰਧਨ ਪੈ ਭਾਈ,
ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਨੇ
ਜਾਂ ਕਿੰਨਾ ਕੁ ਕੰਟਰੋਲ ਕਰ ਲਿਆ ਕਾਮ ਕਰੋਲੋ ਓਮਕਾਰ ਤੇ, ਜਾਂ ਕਿੰਨੀ ਗੱਲ ਅਸੀਂ ਗੁਰੂ ਦੀ ਮੰਨ ਲਈ ਹੈ। ਗੁਰ ਸਤਿਗੁਰ ਕਾ ਜੋ ਸਿੱਖ ਖਾਏ ਸੋ ਭਲਕੇ ਕਰਨਾ ਧਿਆਏ।
ਸੋ ਸਿੱਖ ਮੇਰੇ ਹਿਸਾਬ ਨਾਲ ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਤਾਂ ਉਹੀ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਆ ਕਿ ਸਿੱਖ ਉਹੀ ਹੈ ਜੋ ਰਹਿਤ ਮਰਿਆਦਾ ਫੋਲੋ ਕਰੇ, ਰਾਈਟ। ਜੇਕਰ ਮੈਂ ਦਾੜੀ ਕਟਾ ਰਿਹਾ, ਦਾਰੂ ਪੀ ਰਿਹਾ, ਸੋ ਆਈ ਐਮ ਨਾਟ ਅ ਸਿੱਖ। ਸਿੰਪਲ ਜੀ ਗੱਲ ਆ। ਆਪਾਂ ਰਹਿਤ ਮਰਿਆਦਾ ਅਨੁਸਾਰ ਅਗਰ ਚੱਲੀਏ ਤਾਂ ਸਿੱਖ ਉਹ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗਾ ਕਿ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਦਾੜੀ ਕਟਾ ਰਿਹਾ, ਕਲੱਬਾਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਨੱਚ ਰਿਹਾ, ਧੀਆਂ ਭੈਣਾਂ ਦੀ ਇੱਜ਼ਤ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਦਾ, ਗਲਤ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਦਾ। ਯੂ ਕੈਨ ਅੰਡਰਸਟੈਂਡ।
ਸੋ ਗੱਲ ਇੱਕੋ ਹੀ ਹੈ। ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਨੇ ਕਹਿ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਇੱਕ ਇਹਦਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਜਿਵੇਂ ਮਰਜ਼ੀ ਐਕਸਪਲੇਨ ਕਰ ਲਓ। ਸੋ ਸਿੱਖ ਸਖਾ ਬੰਧਨ ਹੈ ਭਾਈ, ਜੇ ਗੁਰ ਕੇ ਭਾਣੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਵੇ। ਸੋ ਗੁਰੂ ਦਾ ਜੋ ਭਾਣਾ ਹੈ, ਜੋ ਗੁਰੂ ਦਾ ਹੁਕਮ ਹੈ, ਉਸ ਨੂੰ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਕੋਈ ਮੰਨਦਾ ਸਿੱਖ ਉਹ ਹੈ। ਸਿੱਖ ਹੋਣ ਦੇ ਲਈ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਸਰਟੀਫਿਕੇਸ਼ਨ ਦੀ ਲੋੜ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਕੋਈ ਕਹੇ ਕਿ ਮੈਂ ਸਿੱਖ ਹਾਂ। ਅਸੀਂ ਤਾਂ ਅੱਜ ਪੁੱਛਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਨਾ ਕੋਰਟ ਦੇ ਕੋਲੋਂ ਕਿ ਸਿੱਖ ਕੌਣ ਹੈ, ਤੇ ਗੁਰੂ ਗ੍ਰੰਥ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਕਿਉਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਪੁੱਛਦੇ? ਆਪਣੇ ਆਪ ਨੂੰ ਗੁਰੂ ਗੋਬਿੰਦ ਸਿੰਘ ਜੀ ਨੇ 3 ਗੱਲਾਂ ਕੀਤੀਆਂ ਸੀ ਜਦੋਂ ਉਹ ਜੋਤੀ ਜੋਤ ਸਮਾਏ ਸੀ। ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਸੀ ਦੀਦਾਰ ਖਾਲਸੇ ਦਾ, ਪੂਜਾ ਅਕਾਲ ਕੀ, ਪਰਚਾ ਸ਼ਬਦ ਦਾ। ਪਰਚਾ ਸ਼ਬਦ ਦਾ ਮਤਲਬ ਸੀ ਐਗਜ਼ਾਮਿਨ ਯੂਰਸੈਲਫ, ਟੈਸਟ ਯੂਰਸੈਲਫ। ਕਾਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਟੈਸਟ ਕਰੀਏ? ਗੁਰਬਾਣੀ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ। ਗੁਰਬਾਣੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਟੈਸਟਿੰਗ ਅਥਾਰਟੀ ਹੈ। ਸੋ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਪੁੱਛ ਲਓ ਕਿ ਕਿੱਥੇ ਕਰਦੇ ਸੀ।
ਆਪਾਂ ਗੁਰਬਾਣੀ ਦੀ ਬਜਾਏ ਆਪਾਂ ਗੁਰਬਾਣੀ ਦਾ ਹੱਥ ਨਹੀਂ ਫੜਦੇ, ਅਸੀਂ ਪਖੰਡੀ ਬਾਬੇ ਦਾ ਹੱਥ ਫੜਦੇ ਆ। ਅਸੀਂ ਗੂਗਲ ਤੇ ਵੀ ਸਰਚ ਕਰ ਲੈਂਦੇ ਆ ਇਸ ਗੁਰੂ ਗ੍ਰੰਥ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਇਜ਼ ਅ ਲਿਵਿੰਗ ਗॉड ਔਰ ਨਾਟ। ਲਾਈਕ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਆਪਦਾ ਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਭਰੋਸਾ ਸਾਡੇ। ਸੀਰੀਅਸਲੀ ਮੈਂ ਦੇਖਿਆ ਕੋਈ ਲੱਭਦੇ ਆ।
ਹਾਂਜੀ,
ਪਰ ਜੇ ਵੇਖਿਆ ਜਾਵੇ ਹੁਣ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੇ ਬਾਣੇ ਪਾਏ ਆ, ਕਿਰਪਾਨਾਂ ਪਾਈਆਂ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਪੁੱਛੋ ਵੀ ਕਿੰਨੇ ਕੁ ਸਿੱਖ, ਕਿੰਨੇ ਪਰਸੈਂਟੇਜ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਲੋਕ ਸਿਰਫ ਵਿਖਾਵਾ ਕਰਦੇ।
ਜਿਹੜਾ ਉਹ ਸਪਿਰਚੁਅਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗਾ, ਉਹ ਜਨਰਲੀ ਹੈ। ਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਦੇਵ ਜੀ ਨੂੰ ਰਾਏ ਬਲਾਰ ਨੇ ਆਪਣੀ ਅੱਧੀ ਜ਼ਮੀਨ ਦੇ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਸੀ, 750 ਮਰਬਾ, 20,000 ਏਕੜ ਸੀ, ਰਾਈਟ। ਸੋ ਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਪਤਾ ਸੀ, ਨਾ ਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਨੇ, ਨਾ ਬਾਅਦ ਦੇ ਗੁਰੂਆਂ ਨੇ, ਨਾ ਗੁਰਸਿੱਖਾਂ ਨੇ ਉਸ ਜ਼ਮੀਨ ਤੇ ਖੇਤੀ ਕੀਤੀ ਜਾਂ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਸੰਭਿਆ। ਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਦੇਵ ਜੀ ਨੇ ਸਿੱਧਾ ਤਲਵੱਡੀ ਕਰਤਾਰਪੁਰ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਹੋਰ ਜ਼ਮੀਨ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਸਿੱਖਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਉੱਥੇ ਖੇਤੀ ਕਰਵਾਈ, ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਜਾਂ ਆਪ ਵੀ ਕੀਤੀ ਹਨ। ਤਾਂ ਇਹ ਤਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਵੀ ਕਿਉਂ, ਇਹ ਤਾਂ ਉਹ ਜਾਣਦੇ ਸੀ। ਤਾਂ ਇਹਦੇ ਪਿੱਛੇ ਕੀ ਲੌਜਿਕ ਆ, ਜਾਂ ਅਜੇ ਤੱਕ ਵੀ ਉਹ ਜਿਹੜੀ 20,000 ਏਕੜ ਜ਼ਮੀਨ ਆ ਉਹ ਮਤਲਬ ਸਿੱਖਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਦੀ ਕਲੇਮ ਕਿਉਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੀਤਾ ਜਦੋਂ ਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਦੇ ਨਾਂ ਹੈ ਸਟਿਲ ਹਾਲੇ
Viji, thank you for the
ਅੱਧੇ
question.
ਸੈਕਿੰਡ 'ਚ ਮੈਂ ਇਹਦਾ ਜਵਾਬ ਦੇਣਾ, ਪਰ ਗੱਲ ਇਹ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਕਿ ਮੇਰਾ ਸਿੱਖ ਕਿਰਤ ਵਿਰਤ ਕਰ ਧਰਮ ਦੀ ਹੱਥੋਂ ਦੇ ਕੇ ਭਲਾ ਬਣਾਵੇ। ਗੁਰੂ ਨਹੀਂ ਚਾਹੁੰਦਾ ਕਿ ਮੈਂ ਸਾਰਾ ਕੁਝ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਬਣਾ ਕੇ ਦੇ ਦੇਵਾਂ ਤੇ ਮੌਜਾਂ ਕਰੇ ਮੇਰੇ ਕੰਮ ਤੇ, ਮੇਰੇ ਕੀਤੇ ਹੋਏ, ਜਿਵੇਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਅੱਜ ਕੱਲ੍ਹ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਲੋਕ ਕਿ ਮੈਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਲਈ ਆਹ ਕੁਝ ਕਮਾ ਕੇ ਦਰ ਜਾਵਾਂ। ਗੁਰੂ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਆਪਣ ਹੱਥੀ ਆਪਣਾ ਆਪੇ ਵਿਕਾਸ ਸਵਾਰੀ ਹੈ, ਆਪਣਾ ਖੂਹ ਆਪ ਪੁੱਟੋ, ਦੂਸਰਿਆਂ ਤੇ ਡਿਪੈਂਡ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੋਣਾ। ਕਿਰਤ ਕਰਨ ਦਾ ਮਤਲਬ ਇਹੀ ਸੀ। ਹੋ ਸਕਦਾ ਜੇ ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜਿੰਨੀ ਜ਼ਮੀਨ ਸੀ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਦੇ ਜਾਂਦੇ, ਅਸੀਂ ਵਿਹਲੜ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦੇ, ਇਕੱਠੇ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦੇ। ਅੱਜ
Thank you, Viji. Thank you for all those excellent questions.